Now,
hmm
I'm pretty sure Tomatitos and Team Flare were scrimming each other because they both were running that defense strat, if I'm recalling correctly, where they brought the mouse. Remember, Dodo was in the mouse, and I think it
Mm.
was
Sebastian and the other
yeah,
mouse. hmm
Sebastian, and they ran a very similar strat, but it looked like the type of strat where one team came up with the strat, and the other team was like, "We can't beat the strat. Let's kind of rip it off for our own."
Right,
And
and I think to be honest, I think Team Flare played it better
yeah,
than
I
th-
agree.
than than Tomatitos did. But
Yeah,
nonetheless, it is Sand River, and I mean it's kind of hard to beat defenses. But if there's a team to beat defenses on Sand River, it's Team Flare.
absolutely. And if it gets past this, I mean, here's the thing: it's a
hmm
best of 9, so Tomatitos just need 2 more rounds.
Right,
Flare are gonna be playing them on Cinder and then Tundra afterwards if
right.
it goes that far, and you think of those as 1-1 maps.
Mm.
Flare needs them not to be. Flare needs to get
Flare needs to even the odds. They need to even it up. They need to win 2-0
mhm,
on this map.
yeah,
Is
they really
basically what's
do.
going down. But like we were telling you guys before, it's this there's you're not gonna see any 5-0s. You're going to see at like we were saying in the beginning, I think the lowest you see is a 5-1, and I really don't think there's gonna be a 5-1. I think it's gonna be a lot of 5-2s going forward. Maybe even
Yeah,
5-3s. I feel like
yeah, and
there's
just
just
because of the way the maps work and stuff, and
mhm.
yeah, we've got the tank picks here too,
And it's not even the way the maps were. Oh yeah, the take picks.
well, like the way that they're gonna be forced to play a lot of maps that
Correct.
maybe more traditionally 1-1 maps, I guess, is the way that I would phrase it, but, double STB from Tomatitos. Interesting. We've seen the STB used on this map, but I feel like I can't remember a team bringing 2 of them
No.
on one
A lot
side,
of
but a
people that
lot of
brought
times bring 1.
STBs, they would always like die. You know what I mean? Before doing
Kinda
anything.
like in pubs. The STB is like this monster damage farmer that's amazing, has insane DPM, rate of fire, gun
Mm.
depression with the suspension, but then sometimes it also just spontaneously combusts and then ammo racks itself. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's like
It's one of
STB is
those
one of those
things
things from
where
like someone else needs like it's like Smiley, we're on a team. It's like the STB is pivotal to this strat, but I need you to play it, not me, because
yeah,
I'm
but the
not
thing
gonna
is
do
like
it right.
STBs, two of them on attack is really insane. I don't know what they're coming up with. I don't know what gameplay this is. I really don't. They got external
Journal
coming in,
here.
playing. I feel like we haven't
Hot.
really seen external a lot in the CS until just like today. It feels like almost.
Yeah, he was typically favoring bats. I feel like he's played the CS some, but like you said, not a lot, not a lot. And look at
Maybe he
this
took this
aggressive North
weekend to
play
play
from
the
Team Player.
CS or something, get a little bit more familiar with it. You also have you guys have you noticed we've only seen like what one bat chat in 4 matches, I think,
Yeah, I
right?
think one bat was brought on like
And it was
Cliff.
external.
Yeah. Next is taking the first shot of damage from Fluky there in the middle. You can see that STV gun depression and just really good accuracy.
Sheep taking some damage here. Uh Maybe from like a CS or something? That's really interesting because in the low
This
ground.
is odd. This is odd. Like both teams are playing like it's postseason, and it's postseason. You know what I mean? That
Mm-hmm.
both teams haven't run these types of initials before, especially
Right.
Team Flare. They've done some aggressive play north, and now Flare's in that awkward spot of okay, it's either we're going all in to B1 with a bunch of
I
tanks,
almost
or
think
we
that
just
like the
have to
two
kind of
STB, I
disengage.
feel like the two STBs kind of like made them go, huh? You know what I mean? Because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I think they were trying to deny them getting to their mound, like at like D6. Because if they took the
Right.
ridge with, like an STB in the cron, that's like really bad for them, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so
Maybe they
I'm
were setting up
guessing,
for like trying to bleed the clock. Like if they were doing aggressive
yeah.
north, like Flair wanted to be there with heavier boys and
Yep.
ready to just kind of win the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So really, really astute observation. You can see Nexus here, and now you're right. And because look at this, they're kind of starting to reset. They
Right.
just need to figure out those spots with the 113 and 277 in the north. They need to make sure they get one of the guns back. And it looks like the 277 is going to be the one to back off. They're going to leave the 113 out wide, but they need someone at A7 or somewhere to be able to support him. The CS can sort of support him, but he's got to be careful of shots from the middle. And actually, Dodo's IS7 position, I remember that spot in Gold League being used near the end of the Sand River meta by the defensive side with an IS7. It was an odd wrench that just it wasn't like this amazing strat. It could be thrown into things, but when you weren't used to seeing it, it's really awful and awkward to deal with as the attacker, because all of a sudden Dodo's in a spot with a bunch of HP and you kind of can't triangulate a position to get him, and it makes you have to rethink how you can
shots
pick him.
of damage here. He's getting like,
it's from the CS
shooting
right?
at him, or is it the CS?
I think it has to be the CS, right? Or it could be. No, Dodo can't shoot that. I mean, he could, but it would be out of draw.
It would be out of draw. They could ping it. They could tee it. That's another thing that I've noticed ever since teeing has become a thing. Like you see it a lot in like the new Clan Wars meta. Well, they'll be like, well, they have to sit here, so they'll tee it, and then you just blind fire, and then like a chieftain blows up that wasn't lit. You know what I mean? Like out of draw. It's insane. It's just insane, especially against like really kind of pubby clans. You know what I mean? Like it's just funny what you can get away with. But even against good clans, you can you tend to get a couple shots off. So maybe that's what they were doing here. I don't know. In a 6v6 format, I don't know. I guess you have so much ammo, maybe you can get away with it. Oh, he's on fire! Serv is on fire! Somebody call
that was from Dodo.
911!
Oh, no, it wasn't from Dodo. It had to have been from the Super Conqueror.
Correct.
It had to have been from Bloop. Very nice shot, and that's just another nail in the coffin for Tomatitos on this, because Flair have done a very good job of... Hector! That was impressive shooting as well. Showing us that like some of these players, I mean, they've been playing the league for the last more than a month or so, and just some of the top players in NA and SA.
Ooh, Nexus, what are you doing?
Showing why they want to be here, why they want to win, and how they got here. Now, looking to get some punishment into Dodo, looking to get some punishment into Bloop, but 3.5 minutes remain. They look like they have to group up and make Dodo. They have to push Dodo. I don't know how they can do it. Otherwise, they're going to send the Chron.
So because you think it's going to be a one cap?
Right now, I mean, look at the 113.
Look at this.
He's on the other side of the map. And yeah, here's
Nexus is the pick. And look at the response.
Hector really opening it up too is an easy pick.
Hector even has a shot when he does this. Yeah, and Hector's actually the one that picks him up. Luxon needs to try to look to get safe here. Looks like Dark is gonna kill Sebastian here soon. I don't know how he ended up getting one shot here. It looks like Sheep is one shot as well. I'm guessing it's because when they picked up Dodo, they took a lot of punishment for it.
Yeah,
Sheep kind of hiding here.
Yeah, Dodo died, but they took so much punishment.
Sheep's
only just now arriving. He'll pick up the Chron.
To the 113. It looks like they're trying to make Bloop the next pick for them.
That was bad timing too for Flair, because they were caught in like the worst spots for that.
Bloop getting bled a lot. Superconk goes backwards so slow. Oh, look at Hector. He's getting really aggro here.
Bloop having flashbacks to that proc game and going, I just need to get as safe to as many guns as possible and then just deal with one.
Oh my god, Hector came in full HP and now he's only at 900. So much HP bled for that kill.
It's a 4-on-3 with 2 minutes left. HP still in favor of Flair, but guns are not. And
External
HP may not be in favor
here.
after this.
Hector hitting Luxon. Luxon calling him El Stupido. Because he can't get a shot off. Because you know how like Chron Bloom? Like if somebody taps you like that, you literally curse.
Onion, smart play to disengage. I'm sure that the players that are dead, Nexus, Dodo, Bloop, are kind of communicating as well. It's like, there's been a lot of disjointed movements, and it's just we need to make sure we're supporting each other a little bit. And now Dark Ninja is looking like he may be the next pick.
So it looked like Dark tried to come over to help External, and then ended up almost becoming a pick himself. They are so separated. This is really interesting. There's a lot of fights going on at once here. We're going to see Hector going down to Dark, and now we're going to see Onion in a 2v1 scenario.
Of External. That was
looking
a double
for Serve, and he goes.
Yeah,
he gets served because Fluky can't really like manipulate the 113. You know.
Oh no, the STB aiming over its butt is never a pleasant thing to try to do. But yeah, Onion should die here in just a moment, but it doesn't matter. Flair will win the defense. Odd game.
It's really, to be honest with you, it's really close. Why does Dark have HE loaded? Do you think he could pen that?
I think he was just willing it really hard. External coming in, maybe trying to show the horsepower. and he gets the ram. Team Flare staying alive, 3-2. Looking at the post-game stats, Dark Ninja, top damage that round with 3,700 and 2 kills for Team Flare. Look at that, 222. External with 2 kills and 2,500. Onion with almost the same and 2 kills. Dodo and Onion actually, what is that? 30 damage difference. And then Bloop, not far behind. We saw Bloop get picked, but getting out almost 2,100 damage during that really well. Nexus, he kind of got a little bit, he was the pick, but they had to commit for him, so it makes sense in the strat. But he just wasn't able to put out the damage as a result. Sometimes that just kind of happens. And also, Hector was hitting some nasty shots.
Yeah, and Dark Redemption Arc, you could say, coming out with 3,700 damage, 2 kills, and he won the game. How do you feel? 91.4 Fantasy points. Bloop still managing to get out 2,000 damage, even though he got caught out really hard. He was still able to keep his gun in the game. Well, you know, he got a lot of early shots. I'm pretty sure he's the one that caught Serve on fire, because I don't think Dodo...
I don't think Dodo had the shot. I
don't think he had the shot at the
It
time.
had to
Plus,
be
he's
Blue.
playing an IS-7. But then again, Dodo is kind of nuts at creating angles that a lot of people don't think exist.
Yeah.
So,
And Bloop just doing a good job of... it's hard to see it from some of the angles you get in the game, but he was the one that was... When they made a crossing and got punished and took a shot or two of damage, it was Bloop typically hitting those shots from what it looked
yeah,
like.
it was it was, to be honest with you, the only reason why that match was so close is because Toma took a lot of bleed in the beginning of that game. You know, Sheep got bled a lot. I think one of the STBs got hit a couple times.
Yeah.
And then Serves
Flare
fire.
playing really fluid. Really fluid, and like catching Tomatito's a little off balance maybe with some of the positions. And yeah, we're going in the next round of tank picks. That wasn't... I feel like we've seen aggressive defenses like that before, but we hadn't seen it done quite like that by Flare. We're going to see them on attack here. I've said, attack and Sam Rivers hard. If you were to try to, use your, you're putting yourself in the mind of you need to win an attack on Sam River. You're down 2-3 in a playoff, Smiley. What play do you call? What play does Smiley Rage run?
I don't know. It'd be kind of hard because it would be... I think the best ones we've seen so far is free picks and then cap bait. With like kind of center map control. But we've seen those, and we've seen very few be successful against top teams, right? So I feel like it's one of the... I feel like you can't make a strat for it. You have to kind of feel out the other team, and it's almost like I would say in match calling in a way. You know what I mean? Off the top of your head.
Flex calling, okay.
Yeah, that's what I feel like, because every time we've seen like every time we've seen a strat very choreographed, the only people I've seen like just straight up win was like it was Jack's AFK versus Tomatitos, and they literally just drove north with their whole team. You remember that?
I think we may see that here. Just look at Team Flare's lineup on attack. 0 mediums, double VZ, double 113. The only thing is there's a Super Conqueror that's slow, but that could be just the anchor tank. But they are really, really just heavy.
2 CS is pushing Fluky. Look at this.
My God. This is the new tier 10 Clan Wars War Tank coming out next season, guys.
What the new reward set does?
The Super Turbo IS-7. Look at that timing window.
Oh my goodness. You are absolutely right. This is hard north. A very hard north.
It's telegraphed a little hard because they can't, they don't have the raw speed to flex around, but...
Oh my God, Serve! Is he on fire again?
Oh! Surf going to the same position Dodo was at. He shouldn't die here. He should be able to stay alive, but that's a lot of punishment going in. And
holy
now
crap,
the brawl's happening.
Fluky, what is going... Is he lagging? What's this?
Hi, guys. Well, he knows that those autoloaders are on reload, and he was getting away from the 113s, but down he goes because VZ's reload pretty daggone quick, and now Luxon's in an... Ooh, Luxon may go down here.
Dude, I think Team Flare wins these. They're just so grouped up, and Sheep's in the open. It's just not
so much burst.
Good.
3 autoloaders, like a Kron double VZ and then double 113 to just run any of these tanks down. All they have to do is just keep the guns alive and then just get some punish out. Dark Ninja just has to stay alive here. Doesn't even have to do anything, just has to be something that they have
Oh my god, look at Bastion's HP just go bye-bye!
Dodo picking up the kill. Nexus
and
getting another shot into
Super
Hector.
Conch just anchoring in that back rock. That's what the Super Conch's for. He never had to leave base to get the damage. And just
what's
GG.
cheap for someone gonna do? It's like if they decide to push, yeah, he's 2,700 HP of British heavy Super Conqueror. Like it's not you can't just send something fast to go kill him.
I feel like Tomatito's reacted way too harsh. Like they acted way too hard
it's
to
a
that.
Bloodbath, man.
Like
Look,
they reacted way too hard to that. Like they needed to slow it down. I feel like, and they could have won.
Yeah, they had to create several layers of crossfire, and yeah, Surf took a bunch of punish, but he had another gun with him, and I think it was just too much. Yeah, it was super fast, and Team Flare just 2-0'd on Sand River.
If this ends up being a, you know what I mean? If this ends up being like, if this goes to tiebreaker, they had fastest attack by a landslide. You know what I mean? So they're now set to pick whatever side they want on Cliff if it goes to that.
You know, you bring up a good point.
3-3.
When I'm thinking about it, almost all of Tomatito's attacks in general have like gone a little long. Even though the good ones for them, like it's just Flair's been burning clock time a lot on their defenses against Tomatito. Tomatito's not pushing until 3-4 minutes left. Post-game stats: Onion 3,400 in the 113, Dodo 2,700 2K or 2 kills, External 2,500 from that perch 2 kills.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No, he was like, I'm pretty sure he was like responsible for like serve a little bit. I just don't know what the whole point of bringing Fluky out there was. If anything, they should have been pushing as soon as they saw that. They should have been pushing Fluky up north, right? Maybe to anchor the, you know, because then the CSs could have got away, and then they could have set up crossfire, and he could have been like hold down up north. I don't know, like it was really weird.
I was surprised he just wasn't like chilling at one of those dunes, and then they just had the CSs and stuff kind of further back in the high ground, just ready to receive the push.
Because the only way External would have died is if like the CSs killed him, which is possible because they had like a lighter lineup, and they could have had like the 4 heavies kind of like anchoring north, and it could have been possible because then if they kill the External, then the CSs would have had free reign to just like shoot all the heavies from behind. But that's like, I feel like it was such a quick match. Like I don't know in what scenario you can kind of call that, you know what I mean? Because it just happened so fast, and they were just losing things in such
I think
a rapid
Tomatitos
pace.
just didn't audible well in that. They knew something was going to happen because they said they have 6 heavies, and I felt like Team Flare telegraphed a little bit what they were going to do. I mean, they can do slightly different variants on it, but the whole point of that strat isn't about it being a telegraph.
I feel like it was like I feel like it was 100% a north push. Like
it's a similar to the we brought 5 IS7s to back in the day on Sand River attack. It's like we're telegraphing, but we're going to beat you because it doesn't matter. Like we're going to outfight this brawl. Like yeah, you're gonna have to fight us. We don't care. Like if you're putting a tank here, we're gonna pick it and we're gonna share HP and we're gonna focus fire better than you guys are, and that's what Flare did.